Secretary for National Defense on Philippines, and Dr. S. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister of India. Thank you, Ministers. Next, we have exchange of two more documents together. These are the Treaty on Mutual Legal Assistance in Criminal Matters between the Government of Republic of India and the Government of Republic of Philippines, and the Treaty on Transfer of Sentenced Persons between the Government of Republic of India and the Government of Republic of Philippines. These will be exchanged together. On the Philippine side by His Excellency Mr. Jesus Crispin Remulla, Secretary for Department of Justice, and on the Indian side by Dr. S. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister. Thank you, Ministers. Next, we have the exchange of program of cooperation in the field of science and technology for the period 2025-2028 between the Department of Science and Technology of the Republic of India and the Department of Science and Technology of the Republic of Philippines. These would be exchanged on the Filipino side by His Excellency Mr. Renato Solidum, Jr., the Secretary for Science and Technology, and on the Indian side by Shri Pavitra Margarita, Minister of State for External Affairs and Textiles. Thank you, Ministers. We next have the exchange of the implementation program between the Department of Tourism of the Government of Republic of Philippines and the Ministry of Tourism of the Government of Republic of India on Tourism Cooperation 2025-2028. This would be exchanged on the Philippine side by Her Excellency Cristina Frasco, Secretary for Tourism, and on the Indian side by Shri Pavitra Margarita, Minister of State for External Affairs and Textiles. Thank you, Ministers. We next have the exchange of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of Republic of India and the Government of Republic of Philippines on the cooperation in the field of digital technologies. These would be exchanged on the Philippines side by His Excellency Mr. Henry Royal Aguda, Secretary for the Department of Information and Communication Technology on the Philippine side, and on the Indian side by Shri Pavitra Margarita, Minister of State for External Affairs and Textiles. Thank you, Ministers. Next, we have the exchange of the Statement of Intent between Indian Space Research Organization, Republic of India, and the Philippine Space Agency, Philippines, on cooperation on the peaceful uses of outer space. This would be exchanged on the Philippine side by Dr. Gay Jean Perez, Deputy Director General of Space Sciences and Technology, Philippine Space Agency, and on the Indian side by Shri Vikram Misri, Foreign Secretary, Minister of External Affairs. Thank you, Secretaries. Next, we have the exchange of terms of reference for enhanced maritime cooperation between the Indian Coast Guard and the Philippine Coast Guard. This would be exchanged on the Philippine side by Admiral Ronnie Hale Gavan, Commandant Philippine Coast Guard, and on the Indian side by Shri Rajesh Kumar Singh, Defense Secretary. Thank you, sir. And the last document to be exchanged today is the Cultural Exchange Program between the Government of the Republic of India and the Government of the Republic of Philippines. This would be exchanged on the Filipino side by Mr. Victorino Manalo, Chairman, National Commission for Culture and Arts, and on the Indian side by Shri P. Kumran, Secretary East, Ministry of External Affairs. Thank you, sir. We shall now witness the joint virtual release of postal stamps from the two countries commemorating the 75th anniversary of India-Philippine diplomatic relation. I request the leaders to jointly press the green button, please. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the exchange ceremony. I now request the spokesperson of the External Affairs Ministry to command the rest of the proceedings. Thank you.
Namaskar and good afternoon. Your Excellency, Mr. Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President of the Republic of Philippines, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, Honorable Ministers, members of both delegations, distinguished guests, and friends from the media. We will now have the press statements. May I request Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra.
शेयर मार्केट में लोग कहते हैं कि ऑपरेटर्स मार्केट को कंट्रोल करते हैं, इस पर आपका क्या कहना है?
देखिए, ये वही ट्रेडर्स और इन्वेस्टर्स है जो मार्केट को फोरकास्ट नहीं कर पा रहे। मार्केट में मोस्ट ऑफ द स्ट्रेटेजीज
दोनों देशों के डेलीगेट्स, मीडिया के साथियों, नमस्कार, मबूहाय। सबसे पहले मैं राष्ट्रपति जी का और उनके डेलीगेशन का भारत में हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। इस वर्ष भारत और फिलीपींस अपने डिप्लोमेटिक संबंधों की 75वीं वर्षगांठ मना रहे हैं और इस संदर्भ में उनकी यह यात्रा विशेष महत्व रखती है। हमारे डिप्लोमेटिक संबंध भले ही नए हैं, लेकिन हमारी सभ्यताओं के संपर्क बहुत प्राचीन काल से है। फिलीपींस की रामायण, महाराडिया लवाना हमारे सदियों पुराने सांस्कृतिक संबंधों का जीवंत प्रमाण है। अभी जारी किए गए डाक टिकट, जिसमें दोनों देशों के राष्ट्रीय पुष्प हैं, हमारी मित्रता की महक दर्शाते हैं। फ्रेंड्स, हर स्तर पर संवाद, हर क्षेत्र में सहयोग लंबे समय से हमारे संबंधों की पहचान रहा है। आज मैंने और राष्ट्रपति जी ने आपसी सहयोग, क्षेत्रीय मुद्दों और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय परिस्थितियों पर विस्तार से बातचीत की। ये प्रसन्नता का विषय है कि आज हमने अपने संबंधों को स्ट्रैटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा देने का निर्णय लिया है। इस पार्टनरशिप के पोटेंशियल को परिणामों में परिवर्तित करने के लिए एक व्यापक एक्शन प्लान भी बनाया गया है। हमारा बायलैटरल ट्रेड निरंतर बढ़ रहा है और $3 बिलियन का आंकड़ा पार कर चुका है। इसे और मजबूत करने के लिए इंडिया आसियान फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट के रिव्यू को जल्द से जल्द पूरा करना हमारी प्राथमिकता है। साथ ही हमने द्विपक्षीय प्रेफरेंशियल ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट की दिशा में काम करने का फैसला भी किया है। इंफॉर्मेशन एंड डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी, स्वास्थ्य, ऑटोमोबाइल्स, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, मिनरल्स, हर सेक्टर में हमारी कंपनियां सक्रिय रूप से काम कर रही हैं। विज्ञान और टेक्निक के क्षेत्र में वायरोलॉजी से लेकर एआई और एडिटिव मैन्युफैक्चरिंग तक जॉइंट रिसर्च चल रही है। आज संपन्न हुए साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी कोऑपरेशन प्लान से इसमें और गति आएगी। वाराणसी में स्थित इंटरनेशनल राइस रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट का रीजनल सेंटर अल्ट्रा लो ग्लाइसेमिक इंडेक्स को इस वाले चावल पर काम कर रहा है। यानी हम साथ मिलकर स्वाद और सेहत दोनों पर काम कर रहे हैं। मुझे यह कहते हुए खुशी है कि डेवलपमेंट पार्टनरशिप के अंतर्गत हम फिलीपींस में क्विक इम्पैक्ट प्रोजेक्ट की संख्या बढ़ाएंगे और फिलीपींस में सॉवरेन डाटा क्लाउड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के विकास में भी सहयोग देंगे। धरती पर तो हमारी साझेदारी मजबूत है ही और अब हमने अंतरिक्ष की भी तैयारी शुरू कर दी है। इसके लिए आज समझौता भी किया गया है। फ्रेंड्स, मजबूत हो रहे रक्षा संबंध गहरे आपसी विश्वास का प्रतीक है। मैरीटाइम नेशंस के रूप में दोनों देशों के बीच मैरीटाइम कोऑपरेशन स्वाभाविक भी है और आवश्यक भी। ह्यूमैनिटेरियन एड, डिजास्टर रिलीफ और सर्च एंड रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन में हम मिलकर काम करते रहे हैं। आज जब राष्ट्रपति जी भारत में हैं, भारतीय नौसेना के 3 जहाज पहली बार फिलीपींस में नौसैनिक एक्सरसाइज में भाग ले रहे हैं। भारत की हाइड्रोग्राफी शिप भी इसमें जुड़ी है। इंडियन ओशन क्षेत्र के लिए भारत में बनाए गए इंटरनेशनल फ्यूचर सेंटर से जुड़ने के लिए हम फिलीपींस का स्वागत करते हैं। पहलगाम आतंकी हमले की कड़ी निंदा करने के लिए और आतंकवाद के खिलाफ हमारी लड़ाई में साथ खड़े रहने के लिए हम फिलीपींस सरकार और राष्ट्रपति जी का आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। म्यूचुअल लीगल असिस्टेंस और ट्रांसफर ऑफ सेंटेंस पर्सन्स के विषयों पर आज हुए समझौतों से हमारी सुरक्षा साझेदारी को और बल मिलेगा। फ्रेंड्स, भारतीय पर्यटकों को वीजा फ्री एंट्री देने के फिलीपींस के निर्णय का हम स्वागत करते हैं। भारत ने भी फिलीपींस के पर्यटकों को फ्री ई वीजा सुविधा देने का फैसला लिया है। इस साल दिल्ली और मनीला के बीच डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट्स शुरू करने के लिए काम किया जाएगा। आज संपन्न किए गए कल्चरल एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम से हमारे ऐतिहासिक सांस्कृतिक संपर्कों को बढ़ावा मिलेगा। फ्रेंड्स, हमारी एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी और महासागर विजन में फिलीपींस एक अहम साझेदार है। इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र में शांति, सुरक्षा, समृद्धि और रूल बेस्ड ऑर्डर के लिए हम प्रतिबद्ध हैं। हम अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कानूनों के अनुरूप फ्रीडम ऑफ नेविगेशन का समर्थन करते हैं। अगले वर्ष फिलीपींस आसियान की अध्यक्षता करेगा। इसकी सफलता के लिए हम पूरा सहयोग देंगे। एक्सेलेंसी, इंडिया एंड द फिलीपींस आर फ्रेंड्स by choice and partners by destiny. From the Indian Ocean to the Pacific, we are united by shared values. Our is not just a friendship of the past, it is a promise to the future. Maraming Salamat po.
Thank you, sir. May I now request His Excellency, Mr. Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., President of the Republic of Philippines, to give his remarks to the media.
Your Excellency, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Honorable Ministers, our friends from the media, Namaskar. A pleasant day to all. It is but fitting to begin with words of profound gratitude. Thank you, Excellency, our friend and host, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, for receiving us so graciously and hospitably on this state visit. It is my great pleasure to be in India. This sojourn makes me the 5th Philippine president to undertake a visit to this great country, and indeed in the footsteps of my very own father, who was the first Philippine president to visit India in 1976. As emissaries of our people, I bring with me the enduring friendship of the Filipino nation, I carry the message of our solidarity with India, both over the tragic attack in Pahalgam earlier this year and in the broader fight against terrorism. Despite these challenges, I also bear felicitations on India's remarkable transformation and inexorable march to become Viksit Bharat by 2047 under Prime Minister Modi's guiding hand. I come at a crucial juncture in our bilateral partnership. Today, our relationship enters a new epoch as Prime Minister Modi and I formally launched the strategic partnership between Philippines and India. For the Philippines, this is a momentous decision, for we take a very considered path to such elevated partnerships. Today, India becomes only the 5th strategic partner for the Philippines. This new apex attests as much to the remarkably rapid growth, broadening and deepening of our 75-year-old bilateral relationship, the possibilities represented by the strong upward trajectory of our two economies, as it does to the growing alignment of our interests and views on the challenges and imperatives of our time. This was also the auspicious context in which Prime Minister Modi and I engaged in far-reaching, productive and forward-looking discussions this past hour. We agreed to continue leveling up our collaboration in defense and security. We expressed satisfaction over the rapid pace of the Philippines' ongoing defense modernization and the expanding capabilities and footprint of India's indigenous defense industry as a partner in this undertaking, exemplified by our BrahMos project. We concurred that we should be accompanied with intensified dialogue and exchanges between our defense establishments. So we have agreed to establish mechanisms for service-to-service talks, for information sharing and training exchanges amongst our militaries. We will foster naval and coast guard interoperability via port calls, in cooperative activities and capacity building in the maritime domain. The economic sphere has been a steady engine driving our ties for 7+ decades. True to our strategic partnership, Prime Minister Modi and I have charged our economic teams to shepherd our commerce, now at the $3.3 billion in the last year, towards a continued upward trajectory and expanded baskets of goods. To this end, we have decided to expedite the work that we are doing to forge a bilateral preferential trade agreement. We looked at leveraging mutual opportunities to boost two-way investment. Our fast-growing, innovative private enterprises will play an important role in our common march towards progress and development, facilitating innovation, technology transfer, and upskilling, and generating employment for our people. For over a millennium, civilizational, cultural, and people-to-people ties have bridged our geographic distance. They will continue to be the enduring foundation of our friendship, and we will enact policies to make sure that this is so. In this respect, I reiterated our introduction of a visa-free entry privileges and extended our invitation for more Indian tourists to visit the Philippines. I thank Prime Minister Modi in turn for the introduction of a scheme to grant visa free of charge to Filipino tourists traveling to India. We welcome the resumption of direct flights from October this year and renewed our commitment to sustaining and expanding such direct air connectivity. Sea lines of communication crisscross the Indian Ocean. Maritime trade to and from the Far East and the Pacific through the Indian Ocean has and continues to underpin our prosperity and our people's aspirations that they have held for centuries. Safe navigation and security are important, especially for Filipino seafarers who are on almost every ship plying these historic and strategic sea lanes. I again thank the Indian people and the brave men and women of the Indian Navy through Prime Minister Modi for your kind rescue of our nationals in 2024 after a Houthi rebel attack. We recognize India's influence as first responder role in this critical area and we want to work with you for a free and open Indo-Pacific. We both have high stakes in the future of our Indo-Pacific region and in the world. The Philippines-India strategic partnership will doubtless resonate beyond the confines of our bilateral relationship. Prime Minister Modi and I have committed to bring our collaboration to bear on shared concerns, a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region, security and rule of law in the maritime commons, supply chain resilience, food security, countering terrorism, and other traditional and non-traditional threats. Relative to the maritime sphere, I thank Prime Minister Modi once again for India's support for the peaceful settlement of disputes and adherence to international law, especially the UNCLOS and the 2016 award in the South China Sea arbitration. As incoming chair of ASEAN for 2026, as current coordinator as well for ASEAN-India Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, I thank Prime Minister Modi for his government's support for ASEAN, its unity and centrality, and our chairmanship in 2026. Let me close by once again thanking Prime Minister Modi, President Draupadi Murmu, and the Indian government and people for your great hospitality and the devotion shown to our relation. Indeed, today we herald a new era of closer, multidimensional, and impactful engagement between the Philippines and India. Mabuhay. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, sir.